It seems wild to even say this, but after years, and honestly guys, I cannot emphasize that enough, Ubisoft's expansive pirate game Skull and Bones is actually coming to PlayStation this year. It's a game with a lot of drama surrounding it from a developer's perspective, but we would be lying if we said we weren't somewhat interested in taking to the high seas in some of the coolest ships to ever sail them. Hello there everyone, it's Aidan here. So before we get started, if you're on the lookout for some super slick and informative videos like this one here, then why not subscribe to Push Square and hit that little bell icon so you can stay up to date on all things PlayStation. Now that that is out of the way, we have a whole wealth of plundered information that covers release date, platforms, gameplay features and much more, all wrapped up in 31 facts about Skull and Bones that you just need to know. So set those sails as we head to the seas of Ubisoft's latest. Skull and Bones is an online live service pirate game from Ubisoft, and in many ways is a massive expansion upon the sea combat found in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The game is releasing exclusively on current gen consoles, so no PS4 release here, and it will arrive the day before God of War Ragnarok on November 8, 2022. Skull and Bones has been in development with Ubisoft Singapore since 2013, with various versions and builds coming and going over those 9 years. Looking back on the previous E3 demonstrations show a vastly different style of game from what we have now, something that seems much more akin to Sea of Thieves. Reports suggested a full reboot of the project even took place during development. The game was originally slated for a 2018 release, then a 2019 release, then a 2020 and 2021 release window, before eventually landing on that November 2022 release. And among all of those delays, the last gen version of the game was actually scrapped. The team itself has worked on every Assassin's Creed game since 2, with increased responsibilities on Unity, Syndicate and Origins. Outside of those titles, it also developed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time Reshelled in 2009, and the failed free-to-play title Ghost Recon Phantoms in 2014. There will be 2 editions of the game on launch, the standard, which of course just comes with the game, and the premium edition, which will include bonus missions, the Ballad of Bloody Bones collection, and the official digital art book and soundtrack. Neither of these have prices listed at this time, which is a little odd, but as current gen only titles, we can expect the starting price of the base edition to come in at $70 or £70. As a live service game, there is no campaign to be found here and no real ending, but Ubisoft plans to support and update the game for years to come with content that is free to all players. You'll be able to play the game in solo or with friends in servers that will always have up to 20 players at any one time. Crossplay will also be supported on launch, so you can team up with your friends on other platforms. The basic premise of the game is to take to the seas and make a name for yourself as a pirate. You'll start out as a survivor of a shipwreck, rustling together a small dhow before steadily getting your hands on bigger and more powerful ships. The main progression system in the game is infamy levels. As you level up, you'll unlock more blueprints, materials, upgrades, ships, and even crews, with the max rank being Kingpin. Once you've achieved Kingpin status, you'll access more challenging endgame content, but Ubisoft has declined to further elaborate on that at this time. The game is set in the Indian Oceans during the 1700s and will range from the coast of Africa to the East Indies. And despite not featuring a campaign, you will be able to explore and discover more secrets about its world lore, creating a non-linear narrative in the background. The game is being described as more open seas than open world, however there will be various small islands that can be explored on foot. The most important of these are outposts and pirate dens. Outposts are safe zones where you will find a variety of NPCs who will offer contracts and can open up trade. Contracts will range from transporting valuable cargo to hunting down specific targets and plundering outposts. These locations rotate, where factions will set up shop in one location one week and move on to the other the next. Pirate dens, on the other hand, are larger areas and are where you will spend a lot of your time crafting upgrades, recruiting your crew, constructing brand new ships and customizing them, and buying provisions for your travels like ammunition and food for your crew. You will be able to socialise with other players in these areas as well. Speaking of crew, this is where the morale system comes into play. You'll need to keep on top of the condition of your ship, repairing hulls and making sure it's well stocked. If not, the morale of your crew will rapidly decline, eventually leading to a mutiny. If it does actually come to that, they will literally throw you overboard, decreasing your infamy rank along with some of your wealth. Similarly, if your ship is sunk, then your infamy will decrease and your wealth will be lost. However, wealth is for a brief period of time recoverable, appearing as floating loot out in the sea. If you aren't quick enough, however, other players can steal it. Sea combat is obviously a massive part of Skull and Bones, which is said to be intuitive and not unlike playing a shooter. However, the conditions of that combat will vary depending on the types of ships you sail. At the very least, 3 ship types have been confirmed so far: cargo, navigators and firepower. With cargo of course carrying more cargo whilst lacking in defensive and offensive capabilities, navigators being the speedier vessels with less cargo space and HP, and firepower being the strongest build but slowest to navigate. As you familiarise yourself with the game, you'll learn that different ship types have certain objectives that they are better suited for. While in combat, your perspective will switch around the ship, meaning you can get the vantage point from atop the mast, fire from the head of the ship, or control from the helm. The gameplay, however, at this point is incredibly cluttered with UI, but maybe that's just a personal opinion. Each of your ships can be customised with specific weapons, armour, furniture, decorative features and colours. You can even purchase your own firework emotes to signal other players. Weapon types include flamethrowers, mortar strikes, heavy cannons, shots similar to torpedoes and much more. That level of customization extends to your personal avatar as you purchase outfits that command respect among your crew. To craft and upgrade your ship, you will need to gather resources along with leveling up your infamy. Elements like minerals, wood, animal hides and meat and more can be found all around the open sea. When in combat, sinking enemy ships will provide just a portion of their loot. If you want the full amount, you'll have to lower its health and form a boarding party, which is only available once you've built up your crew's attack bar. Sadly, this looks to be just a cutscene that plays out rather than a player-controlled segment. You'll also need to be aware of your cargo weight. If you go over your limit and become over-encumbered, you'll struggle to outrun pursuing ships. Attract a bit too much attention and you will find the privateers gunning you down. These are the challenging NPC pirate hunters, so always be on the lookout. When exploring the seas, you will be able to take part in dynamic world events like taking on impressive cargo parties. On top of these optional activities, sometimes you and your crew will be put in danger by extreme weather conditions like bustling storms and rogue waves. It wouldn't be much of a pirate game without treasure hunting, so of course Skull and Bones has it. Uncover treasure maps during your time with the game, which will then need to be located at the various outposts across the world. With such a massive focus on leveling, crafting, combat, survival and exploration, it's up to you which types of objectives you pursue, allowing you to create your own pirate story. And lastly, it seems like there is a television adaptation of this game being developed with Atlas Entertainment, which is said to be a female-driven drama set in the lawless frontier of the Indian Ocean at the end of the golden age of piracy in the 1700s. At this point, we don't have a release date or even a cast. And that's everything you need to know about Skull and Bones, which will be making its way to PlayStation 5 on November 8th. Let us know down below what you are thinking about this seafaring title now that it's finally on the horizon. And of course, if you're on the lookout for more PlayStation based content like this, then be sure to subscribe to us right here on Push Square. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.